What's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of Talking Figures. As always, I am Tony. Today's guest is a doozy. You can catch him on his channel at It's Chad. There you'll see his car rants, his toy hunts, his unboxing videos, his customization videos. That's just to name a few. You can catch him live every Wednesday and Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
Sunday's on pause for right now, but yeah, okay. Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern on Toy Talk. And when he is on Sundays, it's Articulated Chat for anybody who's wondering about the name. Recently, he's been at the center of some fuckery by another YouTuber who will probably rename nameless on this program, but we'll see how the show goes.
Yeah. Goes by the name of Pampers Peninsula.
Yeah, for real. He has gone on to make a bold proclamation that the 1/18 scale is, in fact, the Lord's scale. And that is something we will definitely discuss on today's program because some will agree, some people will disagree. We'll see where you stand by the end of this program. Yeah. He's quick with a joke. He'll probably light up your smoke. He's joining us all the way from the land of enchantment. Please welcome to the show, the one and only, It's Chad. Welcome, brother.
Thank you. Good to be here.
I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. I love the cut of your jib, brother. You make me laugh every time I catch your live streams and your car rants. Very, very well done. I envy you because you collect the 1/18 scale, which I stay far away from, but I've always watched and admired from afar. So when I saw that you made that proclamation, that I knew I had to have you on the show because that's what I really wanted to talk about and stuff like that. But I'm going to start where I always start with my guys and my guests. And that is, when did you start collecting? When did you realize that it was becoming an issue? Or is it an issue? And when can you pinpoint it? What was the figure that really got you into it?
Ooh, okay, when did I start collecting? I originally started collecting in the mid-90s.
Okay.
When the Power of the Force 2 Star Wars came out. That was the first thing that I actually said, okay, I'm a collector. And I did the whole rule of two. I would get one on the card, and I would thumbtack it on the wall, and then one I ripped open and I put little dolly shelves, setting up my little shelfies. And the funny thing is I was active duty Army at the time.
Okay.
And I went to the NCO who was in charge of me, and I said, hey, I kind of want to get a part-time job at Walmart just so I can buy these toys. And he thought I was insane. But he let me do it. He said, as long as you don't, miss any formations or movements or anything like that, we'll just keep it between us. Part of what we do as non-commissioned officers in the Army is we always try to fix things at the lowest level. So if you can keep it on the down low, then it's fine. But once it becomes a problem, then it's plausible deniability.
Okay.
So that's when I first started collecting. Now, I am like a Joe guy. I'm known as like a Joe guy. But around 99, I kind of... It's weird, right? Because that's when episode 1 came out. But I kind of phased out of Star Wars. It just became too much. You know what I mean? They just turned the faucet on, and I was like, I can't keep up.
Yeah, it was a lot. I never jumped down that line. I never could jump into the Star Wars. I tell people this all the time, and they think I'm crazy, but I was never really into Star Wars. I'm not into the space stuff, but I love Joe, and I love swords and sorcery. But when that came out, it kind of just missed me. The power of the Force, and by that point I just couldn't be into collecting. I don't know what it was, but everybody I have come on this show, a lot of people, that's the one thing they share. It was that power of the Force line that got them all back into this, oh man, I got to start getting these figures.
That's kind of that zeitgeist moment with those of us who are in our late 40s. We're like 70s kids, Toys R Us kids, who grew up in the 80s with all that stuff, Thundercats and Transformers and G.I. Joe and all the cartoons, and, eating our cereal, where, that mid-90s was that sweet spot where we were kind of all moving into adulthood. We kind of had our own money. A line was relaunched and more dynamic posing. There was still that 5 POA, but it had that childhood flair, but just updated enough, new sculpting, new paint apps. And there was just something about it. Now looking back on it with rose-tinted glasses, you're kind of like, oh man, and that stormtrooper, you know, and Luke was so buff, it was ridiculous. It's like, you know, hey, look, it's He-Man, Luke Skywalker. But that was just kind of that frame where, okay, I haven't played with toys since like 87-ish, but now I'm an adult. But it was still taboo at that time to be an adult collector.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things like you did it, but you kind of kept it to yourself. But the internet was becoming a thing, and people were finding chat rooms on the old AOL or, you know, your Netscape Navigator, whatever it was. And it was just that time. But Joe, obviously I was all in with G.I. Joe as soon as A Real American Hero hit in 82.
Okay.
I was too young for Adventure Team or any of that, you know, Super Joe or any of that stuff. I was too young for that. But when Real American Hero hit in 82, I had already done the Star Wars toys, and I moved into Star Wars from Fisher-Price Adventure People. So it was still that kind of, you know, 1/18 scale. It's right. It's all relative.
Yeah.
But it was all still kind of that size of figure. And with Star Wars kind of came some Masters of the Universe in 81, and it was still kind of there for a little while after. But when Joe hit in 82, I was all Joe from then on out. And I always say to people that I chat with or subscribers, channel members, even the guys who are responsible for A Real American Hero, I tell everyone G.I. Joe shaped my life. And there is, are we swearing?
Yeah, absolutely.
There is no bullshit in that statement. Like,
for real.
I spent my entire adult life in the U.S. Army as mostly an infantryman. I was a combat medic, but that's all I've ever done. And now I'm retired, and it's all thanks to G.I. Joe.
My father got me into G.I. Joe.
See, that's awesome.
Because my father was a Vietnam veteran, so he loved the military and stuff like that. And he would use because they would air G.I. Joe when I was a kid at like 6 a.m. like early in the morning, and he would use it as an alarm clock. He would turn the theme song all the way up, and it would wake me and my brother up, and we would come right in the living room and watch it with him, man. A lot of people attend. Like, I noticed you said on your thing, and I will get back to the question. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
But you said your mom got you into a lot of stuff, and for me, it was my father. So it was like we have the same kind of comparison in terms of, like, my father turned me on to everything, like all the swords and sorcery and G.I. Joe. So, like, I have him to thank the same way you would say you had your mother to thank. So I just wanted to say that before we got back into your question, man.
No, that's totally awesome. My mom worked, she worked really hard to raise two boys, and we didn't have it rough. Christmases and birthdays did not disappoint. And my mom worked her ass off. And if we had a sitter and she would come home, because she worked to put herself through school, to get a better job, to give her kids a better life. And she would come home if we were with the sitter, and she'd have her hands behind her back, and she would say, to my brother, "What's your address?" And he would tell her. And then she would say to me, "What's your phone number?" Because that's when we had house phones.
Yeah.
And we would tell her, and then she would pull out an action figure for each of us.
Oh, hell
and so my mom, after like working all day, going to school all night to bust her ass, would still stop at like Eckerd's or Woolworth or whatever, Child World. And she would always bring us home action figures.
Oh,
and
that's awesome, man.
She instilled just a lifelong love of toys in me. And
oh yeah, dude. Yeah. That's where it's at, man. So now you're done. You said around 99, you're kind of out on it. Yeah. So G.I. Joe, was it from your childhood? Did you save your toys from as a kid, or did you have to start playing catch up again?
No, I restarted my entire collection.
Ooh, so that was pricey, huh?
I want to say, well, yeah, but it's a marathon, right?
Man.
I want to say that probably like 2017, 2018, I started like onesie, twosie. And first I was like, I'm just going to get the original 82 wave of figures. And then it was like, well, I guess I'll do some 83 figures. And I remember what the catalyst was. I rebought the 83 headquarters command center. And as soon as I got that playset and I started building it, I'm just like a little kid again, just sitting there building this playset. And I was like, that's it. I'm back, baby. I'm in. And
that's usually how it happens, man.
Yeah. And
one little thing.
That was the moment. And then I just started. I went like hard in the paint right after that moment. And I was buying lots, and I would buy incomplete stuff. And then I would hunt for the parts to complete them, and anything and everything that I could find. If there was one figure that I wanted in a lot, screw it. I bought the whole lot.
Wow.
And then I would have like, automatically I'm army building, and then I've got fodder for like kit bashes and customs. And then that's how I got into customs. And that's how I became good friends with Mikey Kukovic and Matt LaCroix.
Right on.
And the three of us became really good friends. And those guys are like the action figure guys, right? So Mikey's a great customizer of action figures and a great paint master. Matt LaCroix is a great figure designer and paint master of action figures. And I was like, you know what? I think my niche is going to be vehicles and play sets. And so that became like my thing with customs. And long before I started doing YouTube, I was kind of known as like the vehicle customizer guy.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't realize that now, because I kind of have been it's like gaining subs, and people don't realize like I make customs like crazy. And then I started making videos on them.
Okay. Yeah. So customizations came with G.I. Joe, nothing else.
No.
Okay. Now, how many have you customized so far? If I had to ask you to give me a ballpark figure,
between all the vehicles and play sets and
everything total,
probably about 150.
Oh, so you would say you're a veteran, I'd say, or a pro, right?
Yeah. If you look at this right here, this is a 1/18 scale masked rhino that I pretty much just scratch built, greebled.
Buddy, you're a pro. You're a pro.
So I'm known for having a I don't want to say problem, but a problem. I'm known for having a problem with army building Cobra Hiss.
Okay.
I don't say Hiss tanks because it's not a tank, but I have 59 Hisses right now, and most of those are customs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is there any reason for that, or you just didn't?
I just love the Hiss. It's that like quintessential Cobra vehicle.
Yeah,
You know what it's like the G.I. Joe Sky Striker. As soon as you see a Hiss, you know what it is.
It is, yeah.
And it's such a you know, a user-friendly vehicle. Like this is my Battle Android Trooper Hiss.
That looks good, dude.
Right? I just put a different turret on it. I put that on the front, did some painting, some stickers, boom, done. And
how quickly we become customizers as soon as we learn the little tricks.
And they're fun. It's fun to do.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's one of those things that's almost therapeutic for me. I come in here, I have another table on the other side of the room.
Okay.
And I just sit there. Maybe I, put some YouTube or a podcast on or something, and I just listen as I just focus on the smallest detail that no one else will care that I spend an hour, dry brushing this on. But I love it.
Dude, we're in the same boat. But for me, it's dioramas. Like I said, I'm a 1/12 scale guy, but I will always respect the 1/18 because that's how I started with the Marvel Universe ones. Those guys, I love those. And I pretty much, all of them at one point, but then had to sell them off because I needed some quick cash. But I will always respect the 1/18 scale because of just like it's easier to build a world with those because they're smaller, obviously.
Yeah.
But once I saw the detail on 1/12, it was one of those things where I was at my buddy's house. I always tell this story, and people will get sick of it at some point, but I don't care. But he had the Juggernaut wave, the Marvel Legends, and I saw Wolverine's my favorite, obviously, most of the people's favorite comic book character. But I pulled him off the shelf, and I was just staring at him. I'm like, "Fucking hey, this is what they look like now." And he goes, "Yeah," and I was like, "God damn, no, I can't have this. Can't happen." And just like you, right? I buy one and I'm like,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, well, let me just, I got to complete the X-Men now, right? So you start to look and you start to complete the X-Men. Then I see Captain America. I'm like, oh man, I should complete the Avengers too, right? I mean, it would be a shame
Yeah.
to not complete the Avengers. And then it spurns off. Then I look around me and I have figures just coming out of my fucking ears. And now I'm the same way as you. I want to build worlds. Like, I like figures, but I like to play with my toys. I don't want to just leave them on the shelf. I don't want them just to collect dust. I fuck off with the in-box collecting shit. That's just, if you buy a figure, leave it in a box. I don't know what to tell you, right? So I started to get into photography with them, because now I'm like, oh, now you can really open up a world here. And then the detail on 1/12 scale was so good that I just figure it would also tap, I guess, the creative itch, so I could start making dioramas for these things, because I didn't even know that was a thing until I discovered with the figures and everything like that.
Yeah.
And now I'm fucking making full-on buildings. I'm making caves, castles, all kinds of shit for this world that I didn't think you could create, because I'm so used to the 118. Like, I'm so, like, it should be small, is where you have more space.
Right.
And now I'm like, fuck the space. I just want to make all these worlds and shit. And that's why I wanted to talk to you, because you have so many vehicles and you're customizing the vehicles and stuff. Have you ever thought about making dioramas, or have you made a diorama?
No.
No. So it has never even crossed your mind, brother.
No, not really. I try to stick to, I don't know. I'm full of shit. I have a bunch of the Joy Toy, like the Mech Bay pieces and all that, and they're kind of like prefab diodes.
Yeah.
I just use them as environments, really. So I never really thought about creating dioramas per se, because with the 118 scale, I can go buy, a cheapo Chapmay playset from Walmart and turn it into a playset for Joe's. So really, because I customize playsets, I think that, I don't want to say negates, but it sort of circumnavigates making dioramas. Right?
Yeah, I think it's a diorama in its own right.
Yeah,
because you're customizing a playset to make it fit your narrative or world and shit like that. But it's like you said, it's a walk around, because you don't have to do all the custom, the whole creation.
Yeah.
It's kind of already.
I'm not like getting pink foam and like sculpting. I'm not doing that. Like, can I? Yeah, but am I gonna? Nah. Because I like to buy new play sets and say, okay, well, I'm going to do like a new modern vertical take on the Cobra Missile Command headquarters. And I did that, and I took 2 terror drones and I stacked them with computer monitors. And so both levels, turn 360. And I that's the kind of stuff that I do. But
that's pretty sick though. So do you do photography at all with them, or is it just for your own pleasure, man? You just put them together and shit like that?
I cannot do toy photography to save my freaking life. I filmed a video last night that I'm working on to put out about some new Eagle Force figures that I just got.
Yeah.
And, I have the turntable and all that stuff. And just to video the turntable, it looks like hot garbage. And I'm like, why does it, like, I had the ring light on it and everything, but it looks like crap. It looks all blown out and like the colors look muted. And I'm like, this looks like shit.
Yeah,
that is a skill.
Yeah,
I know a lot of great toy photographers like Keith Bradshaw from KB Jodographs, and guys who do amazing toy photography. And I couldn't, to save my life. Like, I can't draw. I will still draw stick figures.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not good at when it comes to drawing. I'm not good. Photography for me, it's like a hobby, because I don't like to claim to be a photographer. I don't want to tell somebody I'm a toy photographer. Like, a lot of people will say that about me, but because I'll go on and I'll see some of these guys work, and you're just like, woo, that's a crisp picture. Like, you can't get a better picture than that and stuff like that.
I
don't like.
Exactly. I just get my phone and I'm like, good enough.
Close enough, right?
Whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. What? So you said it was the wave 1 that got you back into Joe. You're like, fuck it, I'll just collect these guys, right?
Yeah, I started with 82.
And then that was it. Off to the races.
Because I'm such like that dress like military-minded guy.
Okay, yeah.
I went to a military school for high school. I went to the Army, at like 18 years old, 19. And I got this, Mark Bellomo's Ultimate Guide to G.I. Joe.
Hell yeah, okay.
And I literally went year by year.
God damn, dude.
That's how I did it, year by year. And then if there was like a good deal from like a 1988 vehicle, but I'm on 1985, I still scooped it up.
Still grab
But
that.
every so often, until I was done with A Real American Hero, I would go through the book and go, oh, okay, I still need that one. Okay, I still need that one. And then when I was done, I just put the book away.
Okay. So that book is completed.
Yep.
For you.
Yeah, this is everything 82 to 94.
God damn, dude.
Yeah.
And now once you got everything, was the itch is still scratching? Did you just continue to go up past that one and say, fuck, I'm going to get this line and then this line?
Yeah. So after that, and a lot of it was kind of interspersed in there. So, I'm doing 82 to 94 Real American Hero, but at the same time, I really, really love the art of like the modern 4-inch figures.
Oh, those
because
good,
these are a lot of these are like works of art.
Yeah.
I started scooping up the modern Joes too. And then I was looking at the stuff from G.I. Joe Resolute and Sergeant Savage. And then for some reason I got into some Masterpiece Transformers. And then it just kept expanding in all different directions because I love getting a new toy or reacquainting myself with something that I had as a kid. And then I started getting like the rare stuff, the India Fun School G.I. Joe stuff. And Steve from S3V Toys printed me the unproduced 1991 G.I. Joe train.
Oh, wow.
So I have a one-of-a-kind representation of that train. And then it just got crazier and crazier. My wife bought me a Flagg, and then a buddy sold me a Defiant, and then I just the Grails were done. And yeah. So then I got into all the cartoon lines. I got into Sergeant Savage. I even completed G.I. Joe Extreme.
Wow.
Because some of those vehicles are cool.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So where do you putting all this stuff?
So my it's trade secret. My Joe room is actually my full 2-car garage. It's the entire thing. So I took black landscaping fabric. I took like the thermal coverings and soundproofing, and I didn't really delete it, but I smoothed out the garage door with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then I hung the landscaping fabric in front of it, floor to ceiling, the entire thing.
Yeah.
It's nothing but shelves
and stuff.
Yeah. All my aircraft are hanging vertically on the walls like that.
That's it.
And then, like some people, I have a storage unit. Yeah.
I'm getting there.
I just try to get creative with display solutions.
Yeah, that's essentially where I'm at right now, because everything right now is in bins because I'm in the process of converting my garage literally to the same thing that you're doing.
Yep.
Because I jumped off the stop motion play motion cliff. I don't know if you ever heard of this shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So I jumped off that because I went to film school and I really wanted to make movies and shit like that. But I discovered real quickly that it costs a lot of money to make a movie. I don't know if you're aware of this. So I was just like, all right, so I can't do that. So I don't know what happened. One day I was in a rabbit hole and I discovered action figure stop motion. And I was like, oh, I can make movies like this. I got patience. I can do this.
And you have the dollies for it.
Exactly. So I just jumped off that cliff, and now I need the space. Like, everything I have is in bins, and I feel like I hate to say like neglectful, but neglectful of these toys because they're just like being hidden away.
Yeah.
Like no one can see them, and it's pissing me off. So like just recently, I just completely gutted my garage, and now I'm gonna start buying the fancy shelving, and I'm gonna start setting all these guys up, just at least to set them up. Like I forget the play motion shit for now. I just, like I said, I feel like I'm neglected. Like, I see behind you how cool that looks, that display. And man, I'm just like so jealous of all you guys and how you have your stuff displayed. So it's like, that's the next step in our evolution. I feel like when you start collecting, you get to a point where it's either got to become a whole room unto itself, or you got to go the route of the storage space.
Yeah,
And stuff and everything.
I have the whole garage, and then we have a game room in
Nice.
our house, and the game room has all of my 1/12 scale stuff. I know that the common misconception is I don't collect 1/12 scale, but I do.
But you do.
It's just not a lot.
It's not extensive.
It's very pick and choose. But I do have a bunch of 1/12 stuff in there.
Is it mostly Joe's?
It's some classified Action Force, and then some McFarlane, Batman.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a big Batman guy. Big Batman.
Oh, okay.
Superpowers, you know, all that stuff growing up as a kid. You know, the Super Friends.
Yeah.
And Batman's always been my comic book guy.
Hell yeah.
And I'm a big fan of the Nightfall, Night Quest, Night's End, all that, you know, that whole arc, and Jean Paul Valley.
Yeah.
So I have I got some Jean Paul Valley Batman going on. I got some Bruce Wayne Batman. Got to have Bane because I love Bane, and it's just other stuff.
So the 1/12 scale is just like the nostalgia itch, or something that like kind of speaks out to you a little bit.
Yeah. I was always impressed with what Bobby did with Action Force. You know, he bought an existing name. He bought Steel Brigade. He made Steel Brigade different enough to where it fit in the universe that he created.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can get into the whole conversation about me and Classified, but I appreciated the fact that you had someone who used to work for Hasbro, and as I drop him, on G.I. Joe, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes up with something completely new. And I think there aren't enough companies doing new stuff these days. And so I liked that you had some old with the Action Force.
Yeah.
You know, with that smattering of Steel Brigade, but it was all intertwined in something new.
Like a updated version.
So I do get down with Action Force. Now, do I have all of it? No.
Oh, yeah. Me neither. I do like Action Force. I'm the same, but I did pre-order in Vanguard, and I'm gonna get a couple of this new wave, but
yeah, Series 5.
Yeah. What you brought up the G.I. Joe Classified. What's your issue with it? I would love to hear it. I know they're not without their problems, but
yeah, I mean, no, they.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing is, you were talking about the detail in 1/12 scale, which is true.
Yeah.
But you know, for every argument, there's also a counter. So everybody talks about, oh, well, the points of articulation. Well, I've got 4-inch figures with every single point of articulation except for that shoulder swivel.
Well, yeah.
But they got mid-thigh swivel and the whole 9 yards, and you know, ankle rockers and everything like that. A lot of them can look up.
Yeah, that's fact.
But when 1/12 scale gets it wrong, it's so obvious. It's like a spotlight in your face, Classified Falcon.
Yeah.
You know? When they do it well, and I'm not just like, I'm not aiming this at Hasbro and Classified. I'm just saying 1/12 scale in general. When it's done well, it looks amazing. When it's done half-assed or piss poor, it looks like dog shit.
Dog shit, yeah, you could tell.
Because it's that much bigger in your face.
Yeah, I agree with that.
My problem with Classified is it's personal, right? One thing that I will always stress, I like what I like. I don't expect anybody to like what I like. I expect people to like what they like and enjoy it. Toys should be fun.
Yeah.
And that's like, I have this thing, it's like this invisible line of death. I don't care what you like. I'm happy if you're happy. But if you get on my porch, right, giving me shit because I don't like what you like,
then
we're going to have issues, because I am not here to validate what you like, right? I understand that social media and the internet is based on consensus, and community means, right? I don't like the word community, because community means like, there's positives in it, but there's also that whole like groupthink thing and consensus and validation and like safe spaces. If you like Rock Lords, hell yeah, like the Rock Lords. I like GoBots.
It's all what you're
what
into.
I don't like is people telling me that
Yeah.
I'm wrong because I don't like what you like, or I can't have an opinion because I don't collect a thing.
Yeah, I think
I have opinions on crime. I've never,
committed
been
one.
convicted of a felony.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah,
But
it's a dumb way of it. Well, I've noticed in this day and age, people tend to have a very one-sided view, and if you don't view it the same way, then you're either an enemy or a moron.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
So it's because
And that's where that whole, validation thing comes in. Like, if you're not comfortable enough in what you're collecting to just be cool that other people don't like it, then maybe you should like take up needlepoint or something else.
Something else, yeah, absolutely. But
my issue with classified for me is I have all this stuff. It's nothing new.
I see what you mean.
When A Real American Hero came out in 82, they took 3 years from 79 to 80, 82, really like 81-ish. And they designed something different. They didn't take Bullet Man and Adventure Team and Eagle Eye Joe and shrink them down to Star Wars size so they could sell vehicles. My issue with classified, it's not unique to classified. It's pretty much all encompassing of everything today is a rehash of something from before.
I see what you mean.
Now, I understand that maybe because I'm biased toward G.I. Joe and I take it more personally, but I understand like, Motu Classics and things like that. And, these look just like the Masters of the Universe figures from 81 and 82 and 80, whatever. That's it. It's not trying to be anything different.
Yeah.
And God forbid they were affordable. They were like $12 and they were everywhere. But I look at it and to me, it's like Marvel Legends trying to cosplay as G.I. Joe. It's G.I. Joe-ish, but it's not a real American hero.
Yeah.
But it wants to be a real American hero. When you take a line that's based on military and you upscale it because you can produce less, charge more, make more, less effort. You don't have to make play sets because we don't do play sets in that scale. That's crazy. But Mattel's over here doing it with Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull, re-releasing Eternia.
Yeah.
And then now we're doing onesie-twosie vehicles for a scale that's not world building friendly. And it's all square pegs and round holes. But everybody wants G.I. Joe in a larger scale. But at the same time, they want it to look exactly like a real American hero. I watched people poo-pooing about that Alpine reveal because he doesn't look exactly like a real American hero 1/18 scale Alpine. And I'm like, well, if that's what you wanted,
why don't you just
go on eBay and find one.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest, it's easier to find toys from the 80s than it is to get one of these pre-orders today.
Facts.
So to me, it's all bullshit. It's square pegs and round holes. We want something new, but you don't want new. You want somebody to take the Honey, I Blew Up the Kids Ray and hit all these figures from when you were a kid and just blow them up to Marvel Legends scale. And then there's all the secondary, tertiary, consequences that come with that. I think it's great that new people are getting into G.I. Joe, people who didn't collect the O-ring stuff or even the anniversary stuff from the aughts. And they want G.I. Joe now because it's 6 inches. But at the same time, you get a lot of people coming over from Marvel Legends and they don't know anything about G.I. Joe, but they're real quick to pop off at you because,
that's what they do.
With the Dragonfly HasLab, so many people didn't know who Glenda was, or when the vamp was announced, all these people like, well, how big is it? Well, you don't know how big a vamp is? Well, how big is it in relation to a figure? It's like, again, have you never seen a vamp before?
Oh, yeah.
So it's just weird. It's weird.
Yeah. See, I never looked at it from that perspective. That's a brilliant perspective to look at it, because I didn't look at it from that way. Because for me, I never see, my mother was very strict and didn't buy us GI Joe, especially vehicles, because she knew that we were just gonna fucking destroy them. So she was just like, I'm not gonna spend all this money and then have you guys destroy these goddamn things.
Sure.
So I didn't have that, like that connection to GI Joe. You know, so when Classified came out, it's funny that you brought the Marvel Legends thing. I was only going to start buying them because when I started the photography and play motion, stop motion thing, I wanted mercenaries.
Some soldiers to go with your legends.
Exactly, to get beat up.
Yep.
And then, you know, I got gung ho and I was like, oh, you know, these figures are not bad. Is this what I wasn't remembering what the 1/18 scale looked like, because to me, I didn't have them. So I'm like, is this what they look like? Well, this is pretty nice.
Sure.
I was like, all right, so I'll start collecting them. And I just started collecting them. And then to me, I was just like, oh, I like this whole army building thing. That's how I jumped off that cliff.
Yeah.
But I do, now that I see, because I do know what you're talking, because a lot of people complained about Alpine. And I was just like, what's wrong with him? I was like, I have no issue with this guy. And they kept complaining that he looked like Carlton from the Fresh Prince. And I said, well, if Alfonso Ribeiro played him in a movie, what's the big deal? Like, who cares? Like, I don't understand it, you know, but like you said, people want what they want. And when you don't give them what they want, they think that they can complain about it. And then when you say something smart and sound, then you're the moron and you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, you're the one on crazy pills.
Yes, exactly. It's fucking crazy. Like, I don't get it, but I stay far away from it, because to me, I'm like, I always say this too, man. I'm 41. They're making GI Joe, He-Man, and Marvel toys. I can't believe what a world we live in.
You go to Target and buy Voltron.
Exactly. I'm not complaining at all.
It's cool,
like,
man.
I don't give a shit, man. Whatever you want to collect, whatever you want to play with, do that shit, because it's allowed now. You can find the shit easily. You know, I don't get it, but whatever, man. For real. So let me ask you this. Because you have so much, gun to your head, favorite GI Joe figure out of that entire collection, what is the one you will not give up, even if there's a fire?
The old fire question. The one figure?
Yeah, we're gonna go to vehicle, but I just want to start with figure.
Hooded Cobra Commander.
All right.
Yeah.
Right on, dude.
Yeah. And it'll be this one right here.
Hell yeah.
Just because. It'll be that guy.
That's awesome. That's an awesome figure, though.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, so now let's go to vehicle. Which vehicle will you be like, get out of my way, I have to save this first?
Killer Whale.
God, I love that goddamn.
And not the Night Force one, the original one.
Original. Oof, man.
But everybody's gonna, when everybody watches this, they're gonna be like, but that was worth like 5 times as much. I don't care. The original Whale.
That is awesome.
It'd be my Whale.
Hell yeah.
Because I can't save my Flagg. That's not. No.
You have that all set up, right? The Flagg?
Oh yeah.
And it's complete, correct? I would assume.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Did you have that as a child or no?
Nope.
No, right? So when you got
I had a friend who had a Flagg. His father was a plastic surgeon. And he had a Flagg. He also had that big ass stupid. You remember the satellite dishes from our childhoods that was like a satellite dish?
Yeah.
He had that massive satellite dish that, you know, they have to like bolt down to a concrete pad on the side of their house. His Flagg was a nuisance to him. It was always in his way, and he would step over it, like step on it. And we would play Joe's a lot, and we would play Joe's like on the deck, but generally it was like around the Flagg. It's you want to talk about dioramas?
That thing, for real.
7'4" diorama.
Goddamn.
All I use it for is I hold aircraft on it.
Yeah, right, for real.
I mean, I have a custom base, and I got like scenes going on the custom lower level.
Yeah, yeah. If you had to make a 1/12 scale, how big would it be?
A Flagg?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you just do like some Kentucky windage math, so 1/18 scale is 7 feet 4 inches. 1/12 scales generally 2 inches bigger per unit. That'd be pretty freaking big. So it would be like 13 feet.
13 feet.
I have to cough.
That's sick, dude. 13 feet.
Sorry. I killed my camera and not my mic.
It's all good. That's why I record the 2 separate ones. See?
Edit that shit out.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. Sorry. It's all good, man.
It'd probably be like 13 feet.
Oh, wow. Now, you can help me here. The that square base thing that I don't know what year it came out. Again, I didn't collect GI Joe, so please do not judge me. But the right, for real, the big square base that had like the helipad for the Joes. Do you remember the name of that thing?
The 83 headquarters.
The headquarters. Okay. So now, how big would that be in one tool? Because I have this giant styrofoam square that I got. I got a big TV or whatever, and I got, took all the shit from the inside the box. And when I flipped this thing on its end, it looked like the base for that. And I think that I can make it work for 1/12 scale. So I just wanted to run it by you just to see how big the dimensions would have to be for that.
I'm actually looking at it right now.
Because I don't remember it being huge, that thing.
No, it's not. It's not even that deep.
Yeah.
Like depth, you're only talking like the current one is probably like, I don't have a tape measure on me. It's probably like 15 inches deep.
Deep, yeah, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Because this thing I have is a big square.
Probably be like 4 feet wide.
Perfect. Okay.
It's about 9 inches high. So I would say like 4 feet, 18 inches, and then like 2 feet deep.
I can make that work. All right.
It's not that big. It's not that big. Because you got to figure the vehicle bays, now that there's a classified vamp, because yay, we're giving you small vehicles to shut the hell up.
For real.
The vamp just fits in the bay.
Oh, okay.
Right. And it can fit in either bay. One of the bays, raises up.
Yeah.
But there's barely any clearance on the sides of the vamp.
For the vamp.
In the vehicle bay. So if you know how wide a classified vamp is, just add, 2-3 inches on either side, and that's how wide one vehicle bay is.
It's beautiful. All right, yeah, because I do have one vamp, and like recently I made I was doing a scene, and I blocked off my whole living room, so like my wife couldn't even get to the bathroom.
Nice.
And I was like, hold on, I'm shooting something.
Go pee in the sink.
Yeah, and I had all the vehicles set up, so I had that, and I was just thinking in my head, I was looking at this big styrofoam square that I had, and I was like, I wonder if I can turn that into something. I'm always looking at shit and trying to turn it into something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm sure you do it too when you look at vehicles
all the time.
It was like I could customize that into something even better. But yeah, so I'm trying to build like my own play sets. Like I like how you said, you just buy a play set if you want one. Like that's how I'm getting now. It's like I love these things, and it's cool. Like the vehicles are coming out, and like you said, it seems there's a lot of land vehicles just to kind of be like, this is what you want to take it. Which I'm fine with. I'm not going to sit here and comply. I bought 2 camo tumblers just so I can put with these guys. But I want I want more. Like I want the play set. I want all that stuff. So if I have to build it, I'll build it. I don't give a shit. But I don't like that the it's getting expensive. Like you were talking on your thing, like where like now toys are like $1 billion industry in the first quarter or whatever it was. They spent the most money.
Yep, 1.5 billion.
Yeah, because now I'm worried because now what's the next HasLab going to be? $800 or not? Whatever it is, it's just kind of getting to a point where it's like I'd rather just kind of scrounge together stuff and get creative, than have to shell out almost $1,000 for whether it be a playset. Because it wasn't that Eternia thing almost $1,000.
Yep.
Yeah, right. So it's just like that's to me.
Yeah, it was like 800, I think.
Yeah, it was up there, and I was like, you can't hit me in the pockets like that, man. I'm sorry. I'll figure it out for myself.
I don't collect Masters of the Universe, so if it was $699.95, I apologize, but
yeah,
it's just rough math. But
yeah,
and that's all kind of the thing. So you have a line that was based on world building, vehicles, play sets, battlefield accessories, all of that, and you had everything from the highest price point stuff like the Defiant and the Flagg down to the Terrordrome, and then you had, you know, the 83 and the 92 Joe headquarters. Then you had like the tactical battle platform, but then you had the small stuff like Checkpoint Alpha and all those things, like smaller battlefield accessories. If you couldn't afford a whale, you could get a devilfish. If you couldn't afford this, you could get that. You know, there was always something for someone. Mom and dad can't afford a Mobat? Get you an armadillo.
Yeah.
That line did so well because it was so flexible like that. And it wasn't just G.I. Joe. Star Wars had it too. I mean, shit, I got a Star Wars mini rig sitting right there. You could see it.
That's awesome.
And nowadays there is no such thing as like loss leaders for lines. The flexibility, it just isn't there.
Yeah.
And I understand that like the toy industry changed. Distribution had been garbage for years, even before the pandemic. Everybody should know that. But you're taking something that was built on vehicles and playsets and battlefield accessories because it is a world-building, military-based line.
Yeah.
And now it's all about the dollies and all these little vehicles. It's basically like the whole, you know, let them eat cake thing.
Yeah,
like, we'll just shut them up. Like, here's a Cobra flight pod that, you know, everybody calls it a trouble bubble, but, you know, here's a Cobra flight pod. Okay. But if you were really serious about that, if that was the vision for the line, why weren't you doing Cobra flight pods years ago?
Yeah.
Why weren't you doing the Cobra Claw or the G.I. Joe Armadillo? Or why didn't you do the Silver Mirage right after you did the Ram, or all these smaller things? Do the Bivouac, do Checkpoint Alpha. So many small things, the Devilfish, and I could go on and on and on and on that they could have been cranking out years ago. And the answer to that is the shelf life for classified was only supposed to be like 3 years.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. They didn't have like no faith in it, right? Like they didn't think it was gonna.
And that's the problem. So the history of G.I. Joe, it's a very storied history going all the way back to the 60s.
Yeah.
It saved their company from going under 3 times over. Alan Hassenfeld has, you know, notoriously said it put him through college. It allowed them to buy Tonka Kenner or Kenner Tonka. It allowed them to buy Milton Bradley and become the powerhouse company they are, which, you know, now they're a gaming company that happens to make toys, which, okay, whatever. But they have always had people in these executive positions in that company that never saw the vision of G.I. Joe. They never saw the brilliance of G.I. Joe. They saw it as a war brand.
Yeah.
When it never really was a war brand, it was an homage at first. In the 60s, it was an homage. Of course, this was before the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, they pivoted to Adventure Team. But then when A Real American Hero came out, they said, you know what, we're gonna utilize some lessons learned. And that's why it's daring, highly trained special mission force. They can do anything. It ties in the Adventure Team. It's future forward. It's got a little bit of science fiction to it. It's not just, you know, we're a you know, a military spreading force, freedom, you know, through the barrel of a blaster, because they don't even call them rifles now.
Yeah.
But there's always been people who wanted to kill it. In 1994, G.I. Joe had just come off of the second biggest year in the history of the IP, which was 1993, 86 being the biggest year.
Okay.
There were already executives who were planning to kill A Real American Hero behind the scenes, while, you know, the people like Kirk Baziggy and Steve DeGuano and all those guys were coming up with the 1995 line of Battle Corps Rangers, which was going to bring Joe back around to like that 83 to 85 feel of like olive drab green. And, you know, we're kind of going back. Like this tank that I have right here, this is the Sergeant Savage Iron Panther tank. And it was originally designed as the XS-1 stealth tank for G.I. Joe Battle Corps Rangers. And it was going to be olive drab green with a new version of Steeler, and a lot of stuff got reused. But Real American Hero was killed after the 94 line. And then when Kirk Baziggy and some other guys were doing that love letter project, that they came up with something completely new, which was Sergeant Savage. an executive at Hasbro killed convinced Alan Hassenfeld to let her kill Sergeant Savage before it even hit shelves. That's why, like, Sergeant Savage was a flash in the pan, and half of it was reused from the unproduced 95 Battle Corps Rangers. Then she decides that she's going to give G.I. Joe to the Kenner people in Cincinnati who are sitting around on their hands because Star Wars Power of the Force 2, bringing it back around to the beginning of our conversation, that wasn't a thing yet. So then they come up with G.I. Joe Extreme, which is a 7-point of articulation, like wildly different version of G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they kept reinventing G.I. Joe because it's the line that they own outright. Not even a handshake deal with Takara Tomy like Transformers. It's theirs. They own it.
Yeah.
And they are so, I don't want to say embarrassed, but it's such this love-hate relationship. When you looked at the investor fact sheet, G.I. Joe isn't even on there. Play-Doh's on there. Monopoly's on there. G.I. Joe's not on there. They never really commit to it. It's like that weird dysfunctional relationship with a significant other where you've always got one foot out the door. Like you're waiting for, like, you know, the other shoe to drop or whatever, you know, analogy you want to use, where they're always ready to just shit can Joe at a moment's notice. When the modern line was doing great, like the anniversary stuff, 50th anniversary, Pursuit of Cobra, all that was doing great. But they put out the movie lines for Rise of Cobra and Retaliation, higher price point, different aesthetic, sometimes different articulation, on the pegs right next to each other. They became their own biggest competitor. And it was dumb. And then they were like, well, it's not doing that great. Well, the anniversary stuff's killing it. Just because Rise of Cobra and Retaliation movie lines aren't doing that great, they just saw G.I. Joe as a whole wasn't doing great. Let's make it a Toys R Us exclusive. But they knew that Toys R Us was going under because Bain Capital was raping Toys R Us's profits behind the scene. So there's always like something with G.I. Joe. They can't just like, that's why I love Leonard the Core. Even though it's like a off-brand or a knockoff or third party, Leonard the Core has been going strong since the 80s. They never fucked with it. It was like, it's a winning formula, and let's just let it go. And
wow.
You can still go buy Leonard stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why you would bury your own, like, especially if you own it all. Maybe one thing if you would, like, it was like a deal with somebody else and they're getting more money than you want to, like, fuck that. Okay, maybe. But
it's not even like Star Wars and Marvel where they have to pay like massive royalties. And then on top of paying the royalties, they get another smack in the face because it's like, oh, well, you have to make so many figures of Admiral Holdo. And these people at Hasbro are like, nobody wants that shit. But they have to do it because it's in the contract, right?
Yeah.
Got to make Admiral Holdo. Got to make, figures for all these Disney Plus Marvel shows that just tank and suck ass.
Yeah.
They made figures for the Acolyte,
I saw that. Yeah. I don't know who's going to buy that shit.
They just hire these people who are they're not creatives. They're not visionaries. They're not toy people. They're Ivy League business executive types, and they understand spreadsheets. And they understand numbers, but they don't understand playtime, and they don't understand toys. So they see a war brand. War brand is a no-go.
Yeah, they don't
especially
see money there.
Post 9/11, when your chief antagonist of G.I. Joe is a terrorist organization. And after 9/11, that word became taboo because that shit hit home.
It did. Yeah. I mean, it fucked with everything.
And that's why Cobra is now a criminal organization. Makes sense. I get it. But when I see IPs like Star Wars, which elephant in the room, right? Star Wars has been dying a slow death for a while.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's safe to say,
especially with our generation, right? We only care about, like, give me another Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, give me another Darth Vader. I don't care how many I have because I want the stuff that I like that was good, right? I don't want Holdo. I don't want Rose Tico. I don't want whatever else crap that you come up with. Like, I want that stuff.
Yeah.
And I get it because G.I. Joe's doing it too. But when you have an IP like Star Wars that they have to pay massive royalties to Disney to do these lines, they have the retro 5 POA Star Wars stuff. They have the vintage collection, modern articulation, and modern construction stuff. And then they have the Black Series, 3 scales, in-house. What are they doing with Joe? 1 scale. And then they licensed out O-ring stuff to Super 7. I get it. None of the risk, all of the reward.
Yeah.
You could do with Joe what you're doing with Star Wars and pay 0 royalty to anyone.
And make a lot of money.
You're leaving money on the table.
Table for sure, because a lot of people would buy those 118. So they just shit canned that 118 scale when Classified came around, because I remember seeing those on shelves. Was that a while ago? Like when you talking about, I guess you're talking about the retaliation, because I remember seeing those on the pegs and stuff.
Yeah, they had the O-ring 2-packs that was kind of like it was Fan Channel, right? Okay. It was Fan Channel. It was Hasbro Pulse, and they did the Duke and Cobra Commander and Cobra Trooper and Cobra Officer and Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. But again, they had that 1 foot out the door, and they kind of did it, but they kind of half-assed it. And they were hard to find. They were very expensive, and they were windowless. It's just, it was a piss-poor effort, right? Piss-poor planning prevents proper performance. And so when they only put out a couple of them, and then they're like, well, those didn't sell well. Well, no shit, Sherlock. You didn't make crap worth it. The availability was nothing. The affordability wasn't that great. The offerings, it wasn't that fantastic. You're not going to get much in returns. And then it was the same thing with these. And I think this is what you're talking about, the Walmart Retro.
Yeah.
These figures are freaking awesome. They have awesome, all the points of articulation, all the double joints. The sculpts look good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at the sculpting on that guy's hair.
That's what I'm saying. Not bad for 118.
It's damn good.
Yeah.
And they came out with these. Dude, I went crazy. I went crazy with these. The hisses are back. Yeah, granted, Awestriker, whatever, but vehicles are back. These figures were $12. You could find it was a Walmart exclusive. So again, 1 foot kind of out the door. And the first couple of waves, they were just re-releases of the 50th anniversary stuff.
Okay.
And then at the same time, they shit the bed because they're giving you version 2 Snake Eyes with the night visor on a version 1 Snake Eyes card. They're giving you the 50th anniversary long sleeve Storm Shadow on a version 1 sleeveless Storm Shadow card. It was just, again, that piss poor planning.
Yeah.
They were just like, whatever. It's Joe. People will buy it. And true, I bought the shit out of them. And then when they discontinued or they put it on pause, Walmart put them all on sale for $5 each, and you could only buy 5 at a time. I'd place an order for 5. I'd place another order for 5, and another order for 5, and another order for 5. The last 2 waves, which were Stalker and the Cobra Trooper, I want to say, I might be misspeaking, but we're going to say, for argument's sake, Stalker and the Cobra Trooper, and then the final wave was Grunt and the Cobra Officer, or it might be Grunt and the Cobra Trooper, whatever. Is all off the top of my head. Those waves were freaking fantastic. I love them. Great weapons, accurate. They took what up to the 50th anniversary did. They added more points of articulation. They gave them the softer hands and the harder weapons, which is the better way to go than harder hands and softer weapons.
Absolutely.
And I went, I bought hundreds. And I manned all my vehicles with them.
Well, that's sick, dude.
Yeah,
I just don't understand why why would you cut your nose to spite your face? I just don't understand. It's like because like you said, you have the 6-inch guys collecting that, and then the 118 that those things would fly off the shelves. Still, I firmly believe that.
And the thing is, there's still, I have heard so many times 118 is dead. And
I don't know.
One, it shows someone's bias.
Yeah.
2, prove it to me.
Yeah.
Because one company stopped making one IP in 118 scale, that doesn't mean shit. That means that one company had no faith and no vision in the line that they've historically shown that they have no faith and no vision in. But every other company that was making 118 stuff never stopped. In fact, more companies now make 118 scale stuff than 112 scale stuff. And you have so many independent creators. I could just start rattling off companies and I wouldn't name them all.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to try.
No, because I've seen a bunch of stuff in 118.
There is so much 118 stuff out there, and, and a lot of it is new. It's not, here's another fucking Snake Eyes. It's new, cool stuff.
Yeah, see, I never even thought about the regurgitation of it, like where it's like, oh, we're just going to give you this guy now in 6-inch form. Like I never even thought of that. Because I always wanted to be like, I'm like, give a little bit of originality. Make it like if you're gonna. See, to me, I thought Classified was different from Real American Hero because it was Classified series. Yeah, at least it's in the name, right? Real American Hero Classified series. But now, I'm seeing the parallels. Like for instance, like the retro card figures, because I bought Duke, but to me it was nostalgic because he reminded me of the original 118. That was the only reason I bought him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought the retro because I'm thinking in my head like, oh, well, how many variants of the same fucking guy do you need? unless you're army building. Then it's one thing. But to me, it's just like, all right, I got one Duke. Do I need Tiger Force Duke? Do I need this Duke? Do I need that? How many fucking Dukes do I like? Are you trying to get? And it's just you're just repainting his shirt. You're not like adding new stuff to him. It's not like a whole new mold or anything like that. So to me, it gets very frustrating.
And they know how to stick it in and break it off. So like,
Bazooka.
First of all, Bazooka's a friggin' joke, but. They come out with Tiger Force Bazooka and Tiger Force Recondo before they come out with, and it makes me irritated to even say it, but before they come out with their classic look.
Yeah.
Because Classified shouldn't rely on a Real American Heroes aesthetic. Like, be your own shit.
Exactly, yeah.
But they give you Tiger Force Bazooka first. So in Classified world, that's version 1 Bazooka.
Yeah.
That is the primary Bazooka in the Classified world.
Yeah.
By default, because they just made it like that. When really all they're doing is like, we'll put out the shitty Bazooka first because we know people are going to buy it because they're completionists. That's why we put the numbers on the spines because that's the psychology of collecting. However, then we'll give them the original aesthetic 14 jersey Bazooka. And same with Recondo because they're gonna buy that shit too.
Yeah, they're gonna get you. They don't give a fuck. They fuck you here and they fuck you here. They don't care.
and that's fine for the people who are cool with it.
Yeah.
As long as they acknowledge it and they're like, yeah, I'm good with it. Then cool, be good with it. By all means. I'm not knocking people who are happy that it's available and that they can get it, and that's great. But then again, if you want to talk about if it's available and you can get it, do you remember Cobra Island, Beachhead, Major Blood? Why are you putting mainline figures in a fucking one-store exclusive when no one can find them? Why did you make Serpentor an exclusive? Why did you make Dr. Mindbender an exclusive? You're trying. It almost feels like they're trying to piss people off.
Yeah.
And I know so many people who collect G.I. Joe and love G.I. Joe and have for a long time, or, you know, even if they were new to Joe with Classified, who have said, I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I know a couple guys, M. Vargo 97, he had everything Classified. He fucking sold it all. All of it. He was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. And it's not like he's out of the scale. He just said, fuck this.
I'm done with that line.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, because I got them all right now, but I'm just kind of getting to a point where it's like, all right, well, you know, I mean, what more can you give me at this point? that I'm gonna.
It sucks. It
Yeah,
sucks to put
yeah,
people in that position where they reassess like their
yeah.
relationship with a hobby that should bring joy.
I agree. Like
Um,
fantastically put. For
I always look at it like, how easy are these to find?
yeah,
Am I going to have to run around to like 6 different stores, or am I just going to have to say, you know what, and throw my hands up and say, I'm going to be another one of those people, you know, who is Pavlovian conditioned, and I'm going to sit through their cringe-inducing fucking live stream so I can wait for the pre-orders to go live, which a lot of times when they do the live, the pre-orders have already sold out, because that's happened numerous times. Blue Ninja 2-pack.
Yeah, yeah.
And am I going to just be a pre-order collector? I know some people who think that's the most stress-free way to collect. Cool. Just like you were saying about inbox collectors. I know tons of people like, I will only collect sealed and boxed, graded, and my collection room has to look like a fucking museum. Okay. Cool for you if that's your deal. But I will buy a rare-ass sealed vehicle and I will rip that shit open in a heartbeat because I want to touch it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way.
Different strokes for different folks. And I never chastise anyone for what their jam is.
Lucky for me, I like more than just classified. So like to me, like if I like I said, like it happened with Marvel Legends. Like I hit a peak and I'm just like, all right, I need a break from Marvel. That's all I have. Then I got into classified. Then I got into Masterverse because I'm a huge He-Man guy. I preach Masterverse on my channel every video because I love that line so much. And because nothing against the retro line, but I'm just, when I was a kid, I didn't like those toys. So to me, to see an updated version of He-Man figures, I'm all in, you know? And then you spurn off to the other like third party things like you were talking about, where you go to these other websites, you're like, what the fuck? Like, I can't believe this shit.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, if you're gonna, what you said before, like if it feels like they're deliberately trying to piss the people off. I felt that a few times with them, where it's just like, we're gonna give you what we give you, and you're gonna take it whether you like it or not. Shut the fuck up, and that's it. And to me, it's just like, that's how you're gonna lose a lot of people, because they'll just find another toy line to just to spend their money on. Like if it looks good and it's gonna tickle that fucking fancy of theirs, they will bounce on your line and go somewhere else. I've seen it. Like where people are like, fuck this line, I'm gonna go and like do Action Force. I've seen a lot of people jump ship to Valaverse, which not a bad jump because those figures aren't bad at all. They're really nice, and he's coming out with some pretty nice stuff, you know. So to me, to deliberately fuck people that are giving you all of their hard-earned money is beyond stupid. Like I just don't get it, but I do see it, and it's like makes you angry. But like, what can you do at this point? You know, like I said, just start collecting another line. Like I guess, right?
Yeah, and that's just kind of the thing. Like you got to go where the joy is.
Exactly, man. Yeah.
I'm doing what fills my void. I'm doing what works for me, for my mindset, my personality type, what brings me joy, what brings me frustration. I'm doing for me. And for me, isn't going to look like, you know, for Joe Schmuck. And I accidentally pointed in your direction. For Joe Schmuck, it's just one of those things. Like, I love to toy hunt. I like to go to mom and pop, first name basis, brick and mortar toy stores. And I'm not saying collectible, right? Toy stores, which I mean, they are collectible stores, but you know what I mean? There's kind of that difference. Like, I like the toy people who own toy stores. I like to go in there. I like to chat with them. I like to rifle through the pegs, and it's that thrill of the hunt for and I love it. Now, going to Target and Walmart doesn't feel like thrill of the hunt to me. It feels like major disappointment. It's like, it's always the same shit. Oh, hey, Star Wars, there's that Lando that won't sell. There's a Admiral Holdo. Oh, hey, classified, there's a retro gung-ho and a movie fucking Baroness. You know, the Kareness, as I call her. It's always the same shit.
Yeah, right now mine it's just the Python Patrol figures.
Right, but
Yeah,
what stores order is so minimal now. Half the
yeah,
stuff they order sits on pegs. It doesn't move. It's always the same stuff. I I go to toy stores. That's
okay.
what brings me joy.
That's why I noticed that like a couple of them like small toy stores are starting to open up, which is a good. I guess it's a good thing that this is
Yeah,
becoming such a
it's the
big.
resurgence of the toy
Yeah,
store.
yeah.
Yeah,
So those things are coming back because I have one in my area, and when I walk in there, you're absolutely you get a different feel when you go to Target and Walmart than when you get
yeah,
because at least there I think it's the thrill of possibly finding a gem because you're walking into a toy store which is dedicated to what you're going there
yeah.
to shop for, and
Walmart wants you to buy groceries.
yeah,
Target wants you to buy some dumbass duvet for your bed that you don't
exactly,
even need and you don't want, but Target
yeah,
wants you to buy the duvet. They
yeah,
don't give a shit about what's in the toy aisles.
facts, man,
They don't.
facts.
Because how many people, you know, especially right after the whole pandemic thing, when like the Pop Finder app was like the
Yeah,
big
yeah.
thing, and how many people would go into these stores and be like, "Well, actually, it says that you have 7 of these hard to find beachhead figures with the blue eyes in the back," and then they're like, "No,
No.
it's bullshit."
Yeah.
But my primary go-to toy store in Albuquerque, I walked in there one day with one of my real life buddies, and we
Yeah.
went on a toy hunt. And I'm standing there talking to the owner, who I've known for a while. We're totally cool. And I see this thing out of the peripheral vision, and it's the front bumper of the 1990 GI Joe General, that giant ass vehicle playset,
Yeah.
and it's sitting on top of a oh, I had one of my moments. I have moments every now and again. It's sitting on top of the freaking IKEA glass case that all
Oh,
the
like the
112,
shelf. Okay.
yeah, yeah, Detolf, Delta Detolf.
Yeah.
I don't do those because they don't hold 1/18 scale
Yeah.
vehicles worth of shit. It's sitting right there. So it's like right at my eye level. And I just turned and I was like, dude, when did you get a General? And he's like, oh, I just got that like last week.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm looking at it, did not go in there expecting to buy like the
A general.
biggest vehicle of 1990. And he's like, none of the tabs are broken. It's got the driver and his weapon. It's blah, 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 blah. And he knew everything about this toy.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, right? That's that diamond in the rough that you're
Yeah.
only going to find at these resurgent mom and pop toy stores.
Stores. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man.
You're
That's what
not
I
going
started
to
going
get
to
that
now.
at Walmart.
No,
You're
you
just
don't.
not.
And even like if you find something like, I mean, how rare is that? Like, I don't like if I could tell you how many times I walked into one of those department stores, it was like, oh shit, I actually found what I was looking for. I could count it on one hand. It never ever has, especially where I'm at in New York. It never happens. You never get
Oh,
anything over
yeah.
here.
Even out here, man, like
Yeah.
Breaking Bad is like a documentary. I'm telling you, like Albuquerque is sketchy.
Yeah.
Once I could tell you on one hand, once my wife and we were walking through a Walmart, muscle memory, like when you're collectors like we all are.
Mhm.
She's like, you want to go down the action figure aisle? I was like, we can go past it, right? Because it's always the same shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna date how long ago this was. So we're walking, I'm pushing the cart, action figure aisle starts coming into view, and immediately I see the freaking classified battle android trooper.
Oh, wow.
I see it on, that's how long ago this was.
Yeah.
I see it on the peg. I am cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when it comes to battle android troopers. I have every single one in 1/18 scale, tons of customs in 1/18 scale, and I wanted that classified battle android trooper. One of the few classified figures I still have.
Okay.
I literally leapt that like 6 to 8 feet through that peg. And they must have just put a case out because it was the wave of battle android troopers and alley vipers.
Okay.
My immediate reaction, I took them all and I thrown them in the cart. And like a crackhead, I'm like looking around, like trying to make sure that somebody else isn't coming while I'm ripping them all off the peg. Then I stopped. I'm a big fan of leave one for the next guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take 3 bats, 2 alley vipers. I'll put the rest back.
Okay.
I did. I put the rest back. I took them all. I wound up giving away one of the Alley Vipers and one of the bats to somebody who couldn't find them because distribution's dog shit, which is why everything winds up at Ollie's when you never saw it in Walmart to begin with. Crimson Guard.
Facts.
And that was the only time I ever had that kind of, you know, reaction and experience in a big box retailer since I got back into toy collecting.
So like yeah, I 2 times I think it's happened to me. 2.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, I went to Target looking for the Target exclusive Man at Arms disarmed, dishonored one, the deluxe one where you had like the tattered clothing.
Yeah.
Did not expect to see one of my wife found it. She was like, "Is this what you're looking for?" And I just like looked. I was like, I was like, I had a heart attack. I was like, holy shit, it's here! And then we went to the NECA aisle. I was looking for one of those like Ninja Turtle things with the Eastman Laird.
Oh yeah.
Turtle guys. And that was only times, like twice out of the I mean hundreds of times I've gone to those goddamn stores. You don't find nothing. But every time I walk into a toy store, there is something. Like you just at the corner of your eye, you go, just what the fuck is that? And you just walk over and you go, okay, I like what you're cooking up here with this little display here. What's this now?
Oh,
yeah. So I'm always on the lookout for that. So now let me ask you this then. I'm glad we brought up the toy stores and stuff. Would you say the General was a grail piece that you found out in the wild? And the second part, how much did you spend? Like, what is the most you've ever spent on one of those little plastic guys?
No, the General was not a grail to me.
Okay.
It's going to be a little long-winded, but I'm going to get there.
No, go for it.
I have this weird thing where if I don't have an item and I'm like, okay, this week I'm going to go for this item, right? And for a while, that's how it was. It was a systematic, like, how do you devour a whale? One bite at a time, right? I was just like taking chunks. It was just one of those beautifully timed happy accidents where I walked into the store and I thought maybe I was going to walk out with a dolly or two, and I walked out with the General. Oddly enough, right after that, I got a second General because that's how I roll. And I don't know why, but like I didn't have a Star Brigade armor bot. I got a loose one that was like 80% complete. I'm a big fan of restoring toys because I believe that we as collectors, and I don't care if it's a toy that came out 2 years ago or a toy that came out 40 years ago, we are stewards of these pieces of art.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep them in our collections. We're going to keep them safe, and we're going to keep them dusted, and we're going to keep them in good order. And then at some point when we're done, we're going to pass these items on to somebody else, and then they will become the stewards of them. Because yes, it's art. It's also history. And I really firmly always approach my collecting like that. So I will buy something that's like 80% complete, 75. Sometimes if I'm feeling froggy, it'll be like 50%.
Complete. Wow.
And I'll complete it.
Yeah.
And once it's complete and I restore it, maybe it's got restoration stickers, but it looks fucking brand new.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And I put it on the shelf or I hang it from the wall, and then I move on.
Well, so, that's like an artist who like a person who collects art paintings, and they restore the paintings. It's the same deal. It's just
absolutely,
with toys, man. Hell yeah, dude.
So I got an armor bot. You know, it was missing like one hip cap and an antenna, and like I completed that one. But then, well, you kind of can't see it. You kind of can right there. I got one sealed in a box. But if a deal comes up, even if I've already got one, I'm like, you know what? I will be the steward of that.
Yeah,
I'll hold on to it.
You also hunt a good deal, it seems.
Say again?
You also hunt good deals, it seems.
I do, yeah. So the General I just came across, and because I know the owner of that store, and I was like, okay, now you have my curiosity at no broken tabs. How much? Right. So now we're getting down to brass tacks. And he said, oh, for Joe on the street, this much. For you, a good chunk less, like 30%, 35% less. And I was like, done. So,
wow. Damn.
Second part, what was the most I paid for what?
The most you paid for anything in your, like, when you paid for it, like, you don't have to say the number, but it was one of those where you're like, you know, it kind of even was like, even you were like,
oh no, I got an answer for that already.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Okay, so how to set this up. I'm at the point now where all I'm really doing is like the final years of the G.I. Joe figure subscription service and the con exclusive stuff all in 1/18 scale, right?
Okay, yeah.
But I'm also doing the Takara, which is the Japanese G.I. Joe stuff. I'm doing the Estrella Brazil stuff, and I'm doing the Fun School India stuff. Now, there is a vehicle that was supposed to be in the G.I. Joe Extreme line.
Okay.
And it was called the Tiger Hawk. When G.I. Joe Extreme was failing, because it wasn't that great, thanks, Kenner. When that was failing and everything was written off and sold off, part of the what's called the LOS, the letter of sale,
okay,
to Fun School was that all molds are sold, all production is ceased. The Tiger Hawk was never actually shot in the mold under the Kenner name. So when those molds got sold to India, they changed it to the Battle Hawk. Wow. Completely recolored it like Fun School does. It didn't have any of that slam Nerf missile launching stuff because Hasbro, Kenner, Tonka owned Nerf.
Okay.
So that cut out any Nerf stuff. It's ridiculous. This vehicle is like, it's like this thing a legend, but it's a total shit show at the same time. So it's designed for a G.I. Joe figure that is this big, right? This is almost He-Man size.
Yeah.
The cockpit is designed for a figure this size. Now, Fun School being fucking cheap as all get out, they were packaging that vehicle with O-ring scale Joes. And Fun School's whole thing is like on the box it says, you know, includes a G.I. Joe figure. It's not like a pilot or a driver. It's one random ass figure that they just happen to have.
Yeah.
But I knew if I was going to complete, you know, my Joe endeavor, I needed that vehicle because one, it's a representation of G.I. Joe Extreme, which I needed the Tiger Hawk to complete G.I. Joe Extreme. However, the Tiger Hawk didn't exist.
Yeah.
It was the Battle Hawk. But you know what? Fuck this. I'm getting that vehicle. I found one and only one, right? You know how we're both Italian, right? So I'm counting on the pinky.
Yeah.
I found one sealed. Only one.
Okay.
$1,300. Bought that shit. Soon as I get it, guess what I do? Open it up. I did a live unboxing with Jay Bartlett. Open this thing up and the canopy's broken.
Oh my God.
The canopy's broken. Half the stickers when they printed them, because like it's supposed to be this big, like egregious stripe down the side in red, white, and blue. The first one's red, white, and blue. The second one is blue, white, and red. The third one is red, white, and blue because they printed it all shitty. So I got stickers that are printed wrong. It came with Road Pig. Fucking Road Pig. So now the joke is he's called Sky Pig. And you put him down in this cockpit and he looks like a toddler sitting in the driver's seat of dad's car. It doesn't fit. The canopy's fucking broken. And I'm like, you know what? I have no regrets whatsoever. Just like, it was just an experience. And I was like, that's part of it. But
yeah,
just because it was rare and expensive in Fun School doesn't mean that's why it was broken. Half these people who are inbox collectors, they don't know half the shit that they have is broken.
Broken, yeah, that's fact.
A lot of people who collect, mint on card figures, guess what these O-rings do? They rot.
Yeah.
And then the figure falls over in the blister.
Yeah, it literally falls apart. Yeah.
But yeah, that was the single most expensive. My Defiant wasn't even that much.
God damn, dude.
Or my Flagg.
Yeah. Did you like when you found it broken? Did your mind immediately go, "I can fix it"?
Yeah.
Did you try?
Yeah. Oh, and I'm sorry, Mikey Kukovic from JMK Custom Works. He was on that stream too, and we were talking about, oh well, there's ways. Yeah, it's a clear canopy, but there's ways, and we know tricks. And
okay, yeah.
And I was like, but you know what? I'm not going to fix it.
Wow.
Because it's part of the experience, it's part of the story and the memory and all of the dumpster fire that, and I'm looking right at it on the shelf, all of the dumpster fire that makes that vehicle.
Yeah.
So I didn't fix it. When I displayed it, instead of displaying it head on, I displayed it right from the side where you don't see the broken part of the canopy.
Yeah. It also gives it character. It's like a battle scar.
It does.
Like a badge of honor, if you will.
But when Fun School packages stuff, it's not like things part of the cool thing about G.I. Joe vehicles is to some degree or another, you build it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's some assembly required.
Yeah.
Not even in individual bags. It's literally just freaking
on the box.
You know what was in a bag? Road pig. Fucking road pigs in a bag with no weapon, by the way.
Jesus.
But the canopy, no, sir. And it's all scratched up because that thing
is banging around.
Well, so they released it in 2000. So for 24 years, it had just been smashing around, like your balls when you go commando. It's just getting beat to death in that box.
Fucking hey, dude. Oh, that would drive. I don't know. That would literally, I would scream.
But it's a fun story.
Yeah, it is. It's a good one, man.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that. Like I saw one time Brian on his stream where he got a NECA figure. He took it out of the box and the arm broke right there on the stream. And I'm just like, God damn, like I just spend that much money on toys.
I mean, think about Classified Cover Girl, right?
Yeah.
And Zarana. Remember, they both had that arm that would just drop off.
Yeah, it would fall off. Yeah, I saw a lot of that, man.
I'd watch so many people unbox those figures, and I don't know why, because it's not my jam. But what I still love watching toy stuff because it's still toys.
Hell yeah!
And people go, oh yeah, bet. And then pull it out. There goes the arm.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Let me ask you this now: how long do you think you'll be collecting? Do you think you'll be going until the wheels fall off, or do you believe, like some of us believe, that there is a shelf life for this hobby?
Okay. Let me ask you a clarifying question.
Sure.
Till the wheels fall off. You mean like till I go in the oven?
Pretty much. Are you going to go to the very end, or is it going to be to a point where maybe you reach a certain age and you're like, all right, I'm done with this?
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to show my hand a little bit.
Okay.
I wish I had some friggin' grandkids.
Yeah.
Because that's where all of this would go.
Yeah, yeah.
As it stands, I don't. So, granted, I'm not really old enough for it yet, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I am going to collect as long as it brings me joy.
Oh, that's a good.
I don't see that stopping.
Yeah.
Because what I collect and how I collect, again, we're not talking about live stream pre-orders and effortlessly hunting frickin' Target. But at the same time, there is a long-term goal, long-term plan in place with myself and the ma'am that at some point she's going to retire as well.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've already been retired for a few months. she's going to retire as well, and we are going to carry our asses to Italy to live out the rest of our days.
Oh wow, you're going back to the motherland, huh?
Oh yeah.
Nice, dude.
And so one way or the other, this is not coming with me.
Oh wow. So
it's not going to come with us. So
now, so let me ask you this question. Okay, you sell it off, you move to Italy. Is there a chance while you're living there out there that the itch starts to come back a little bit?
Well, sure. I mean, the love of toys has been ingrained in me since I can remember.
Right? Oh yeah.
I don't think I will ever be without some form of a action figure, some form of a dolly, as those of us like to joke.
Yeah.
There's going to be something. Maybe I'll, go to Michael's and get one of those baseball bat display cases, and I'll take like
the ones that meant the most to you, essentially.
But see, it's a slippery slope because I could say, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna take the '82 Joes." Remember how this all started? I'm just gonna take the '82 Joes, right? The original, run. But if I take the '82 Joes, well, then I got to take Cobra Commander and the Officer and the Trooper, and then if I take them, well, then I need Destro. I need the Baroness, and if I get the Baroness, I should probably get Firefly, and then maybe Zartan, and then I'm done. Right? then I'm fucked all over again. But there will be some form of smattering that represents my entire journey and experience and come with me as like a love letter.
Oh, hell yeah. No, that like should definitely happen.
When I'm done and we retire and go, she retires and we go, there will be some love letter that comes with me. Yeah.
That's fucking fantastic.
But the rest is going to go. And it's going to suck because I'll tell you what, there is no shame in this game whatsoever. Yeah. I will admit it, and I've said it openly time and again. When my wife bought me my Flagg for Father's Day, we were deployed, right? Because she's in the infantry as well. Okay. So we were deployed in East Africa. It was Father's Day.
Yeah.
So yeah, hey, I'm coming up on the 4th anniversary of being part of the Admirals Club. 4 years ago, she bought me a Flagg for Father's Day. I mean, what kind of wife is that, right?
Trust me.
And we got home. It was post-pandemic. We were gone for the whole thing. When we came back, like everything was already kind of reopened, but it was still that fucked up reopen.
Yeah.
I didn't get the boxes for like another 3 months, and then I had to build the custom base and on and on and on. Anyway, where I'm going with that is when I finally built my Flagg, restored it, completed it, put it on the custom base. I shit you not, when I put that last deck pin in it and it was just quiet in the room and I just put my hands on that thing, I friggin' cried like a little baby with a skin knee.
Yeah. Dude, we're one and the same, brother, because my wife did the same thing. She bought me, not on the same level. I can't get on the same level as the Flagg. But she like when we were talking about the exclusives, so I missed out on Mindbender and Serpentor because of the stupid exclusive shit.
Yeah,
because I don't belong to Hasbro Pulse. I don't do that exclusive premium bullshit. I'm not going to pay you more money to then spend more money on figures. Like fuck off, right? Yeah. So, I didn't. I thought that was it. I wasn't going to get those figures. And for our anniversary, she's like, "I got you something. It came early. Just open it now. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and hold on to it." And I opened up this package and it was fucking Mindbender. And I just, like I said, in my head, I'm like, I'm not getting this figure. Obviously, it's not gonna happen because it just was impossible. And I don't know how much she spent on it. She wouldn't tell me.
That's an indication.
Yeah, that's the same. And I just looked up at her and it just fucking tears. Just, I was like, because it was like in that moment you realize like you accept me as I am, and you're getting, you're contributing to this lifestyle, and this shows me that I can fully be me around you. So here it comes. Here comes the waterworks. So that's exactly, I know exactly how you feel, buddy.
Same. And here's the thing. I don't like classified. I'm not going to collect it. You will never talk me into it. But just hearing that, man, I am so freaking happy for you.
Yeah.
That you got that shit and that you got to experience that exact scenario.
Yeah.
Because you nailed it. It wasn't because, oh, I got a flag. It was because my wife, like, she accepts me and she loves me and she believes in me and she's like on this freaking, hell ride with me.
Yeah.
Like stupid plastic people, all together now.
Facts.
And it was a culmination of the whole lifetime, all of it. The friend that I had as a kid who like treated his flag like, oh, it's in my way.
Yeah.
And the wife that I have who loves me for me and all of this shit and the deployment and the bullshit and everything. I hear you. And I thought I would never own a flag. Like you thought you would never have Mindbender. And who swoops in and saves the day? Wives.
It was one of the things I tell her all the time. I knew I was in love with you the first minute you said to me, she said to me, hey, let's go on a toy hunt. That was when I was like, looked at her and I was like, I think I can spend my life with this one. I was like, holy shit.
I'll keep you.
Yeah. I was like, you can stay around. Yeah, you're allowed to stay.
You can stick around. You can put your toothbrush in my bathroom.
Man, facts, dude.
Yeah, and same thing with mine. Yeah, like the ma'am costumes with me in the finest. Which,
yeah, dude.
So she's one of the G.I. Joe Costume Club members, and she's always like, hey, what do you want to do? You want to go to the toy store? And I'm like, yeah.
That's the best, man. And my wife's the same way. She wants to cosplay. She wants to do all that stuff too now. Like I'm big. See, I have a big social anxiety problem. That's why I started this podcast, so I could talk to people one-on-one. Yep. So to me, going to conventions, because I used to do the cosplay thing, and then I got there's a whole story to I don't want to fucking bore you with it all, but I had something happen up here. It was like a fucking glass break, and everything just shut down. So now, I can't go anywhere without her. So now she's like, I'll cosplay. You don't have to cosplay at all. I'll do it all. Just come with me, and we can go toy hunt. We can do everything together. So we just started to kind of come back out of my shell again, and to go to these things. We went to a few things. I met Ninja at one of them because of her. Like I told her, I wouldn't have been able to do this shit if it wasn't for you, So when you find someone like that will literally be your rock, and you hold on to that shit. You don't let it go, man, for real. So I'm glad you got that too, man, because it's good. And a lot of people I notice in this circle, like a lot of guys that I'm starting to meet, they all have the same common denominator. Their wives completely support them and accept them as they are, and not only help them find the things that they want, but are happy when they see like the joy in their husband's faces. Man, that's rare.
Yeah. M. Vargo, his wife, Tony from Analog Toys, his wife, Melinda, right? Michael's wife, Retro Blasting.
Yeah.
Bobby's wife.
Yeah.
Ninjas. Like I could go on and on and on. I'm sure there's Scuba Pete and Leslie. Like on. Yours, mine.
Yeah.
Forget it. Like you need that, because this isn't just like where our, Epcot Center vacation money goes. Like this shit is like, when you're in it, you're fucking in it.
You're in it, yeah. Hell yeah.
And look, I totally get you. Like you don't even need to say it, but I'm right there with you. Like my wife, like if she ain't gonna go someplace with me 3 times out of 5, I'm like,
I'm not going. Yeah. Dude,
last year I did go to Joe Fest without her because it was like last minute that she couldn't go, and I'm like, yeah, I mean it's all paid for. Fuck, I'm still going.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because now you're going to DWF or DFW, right? Just next weekend?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be hanging out with all those guys, all the gentlemen that we mentioned, pretty much, right?
Yep.
Are you excited? Is this your first time going to this one? Because you just said you went to Joe Fest too. So how's this going to play out? What are you interested to find there? What are you excited to do down there?
That was multi-parted.
Yeah.
Historically, I always went to Joe Fest.
Okay.
Now, because I didn't retire until March of this year, even last year while I was on my retirement track, or as I like to call it, my glide slope path, right? I was just cruising down. I still had obligations.
Okay.
You know, I was still in the Army.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was always one of those, like, if you're going to go to one, it's Joe Fest.
Okay.
Now, one way or the other, I was going to DFW this year. I had already decided because I knew Kirk Bazigian, who, you know, he's like the maestro of G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah,
There's
yeah.
so many things that I could name that Kirk's responsible for with G.I. Joe. They would take forever. I knew Kirk Bazigian was going to DFW, and I already knew the dates of DFW. And so I was going to go to that. Now, this is before one thing led to another, and the organizer of Joe Fest decided, granted between a rock and a hard place, but knowingly parked Joe Fest on the dates that DFW already had locked in.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I couldn't go to both.
Yeah.
I'm a little bothered that I can't go to both because I have good friends that are also going to Joe Fest. And freaking Bob Breeken from Palatoy, who designed this damn Robo Skull, I would have liked to have met Bob Breeken. Regardless, I knew I was going to DFW. And then it just became like, well, you know, plus Bobby Valla had that whole falling out thing with the organizer of Joe Fest. And I'm not going to get into the whys, like a lot of people know the why. But then DFW just kept getting sweeter, right? Then it's like Ron Rudat's coming, and you know, this guy's coming, and all of these guys from A Real American Hero, and even later. So you've got, you know, Vinny DeLivia's going, Daryl DePriest, and Daryl DePriest was on Joe all the way into like the aughts.
Yeah.
You know, hugely responsible for the Star Wars vintage collection and on and on and on. And he's a brilliant guy. Then freaking Bobby, and then Ryan, and then on and on and on. So originally when I was going to go to DFW, it was like, Kirk Bazigian's going to DFW. I know Mikey from JMK Custom Works and his father, John, who does, you know, call sign Longbow. I knew they were going to DFW. Mikey's one of my really good friends. Then a couple other friends. And then I was like, okay, DFW it is. It's half the distance, half the cost.
Yeah.
All around. The hotel's half. The freaking tickets are half. Like, DFW is very affordable.
Yeah.
And Greg Brown, who owns Cotswold Collectibles and runs the DFW G.I. Joe show, he was very much focused on, we are going to make this a true celebration of the 60th anniversary of G.I. Joe. They got people from Adventure Team all the way to like now represented.
Awesome.
And
that's awesome.
I thought that was awesome. Greg's a fantastic guy. So yeah, that's the deal with that. I don't remember the 9 other parts of the question. I'm sorry.
No,
Could you restate?
It's fine. No, I was just saying, if you were excited, are there going to be anything you're on the lookout for while you're down there?
Well, of course I'm excited because, you know, another little thing is the late June toy convention kind of ramp up is when my wife and I have our wedding anniversary. So
right on.
We always use that as our anniversary vacation.
I said, no, right on.
Which is why last year doubly sucked, right? Because I didn't get to spend my anniversary with my wife. So yes, I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm excited for all of it. See old friends,
meet
new faces, get face-to-face time with a lot of these people from the brand that shaped my life that I either haven't seen since Joe Fest last year or I've never met in person.
Now, you said, I don't know, a couple of days ago that this is the first time you're having a press pass?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, is that going to grant you a little extra access to stuff, I guess? Yeah, right? Okay. So,
I didn't ask for it.
No. Are you going to start? I'm saying, like, now that your channel is kind of like, essentially like a toy news channel, it is in its own right, essentially, because you guys talk about a lot of toy news. Does that mean, are you going to start, I'm saying, is you going to start showing up to these things with a press badge to get, I mean, I'm not saying use it to your advantage. What I'm saying is now you have the ability. Now that you got the one, you could get more. Now are you gonna start using that ability?
Well, the press pass thing is also like it's exclusive per show. So
Okay.
Greg offered me the press pass because one, I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah.
Two, I've been doing a lot to help amplify the signal of all the awesomeness that will be the
Down there.
DFW
Yeah.
GI Joe show. So he did that as a kindness to me.
Oh, okay.
However, I do have to say, I still bought Commander's package tickets for me and my wife.
Oh, wow.
So no matter what, we
You were
had
going.
Commander's package tickets because one, I'm going to support that freaking show, and you support it by buying tickets and showing up and buying shit from the the vendors.
Yeah, facts.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what keeps any con solvent.
Yeah.
Vendors making sales and the con selling tickets.
Yeah.
One way or the other, I was a ticket purchasing attendee. But with the press pass, I don't know. I'm pretty much Superman.
Yeah, that's nice,
right?
Right?
Like, I mean, one way. What do you want to see? Get out of my way.
I saw on your live stream today. You said you were gonna try to do some guerrilla style live streaming while you're down there asking some questions, which I'm excited for. Because
no thumbnail, no intro. I'm just gonna fucking hit go live.
Go right, yeah. Fuck that, no, dude. Because listen, nothing's better than when you cut into a YouTube. Like if I'm going on YouTube, because I'm not going to these things.
Yeah,
and I'll see you there live.
Hey,
and I'm like, oh shit, he's live. Let me see what's going on down there. See what kind of stuff they got. So I'm excited for all you guys. I'm excited to see what you guys find and to see what you bring back and all the videos and unboxing stuff that comes along with these trips. That's the beautiful thing about these conventions, man. They're like little gold mines for everybody, and someone's gonna come back with something different. Someone's gonna have a great story, whether it's hanging out with people after the show or something at the show. So I'm excited to see how all you guys do down there, man. It's gonna be a good time.
That's what a lot of my stuff is gonna be. One, because some stuff you just can't schedule.
Yeah.
Especially at a con like that, it's like in the moment. Here, it's happening.
Yeah.
Either way, if you don't catch it live, it's still going to be there for posterity later. So you can always catch up with it. I can grab them all and download them and combine them and make one giant thing later.
Yeah, you could.
But also, I want to go and attend because I just want the experience of hanging out with friends and the true interpersonal interactions and not experience the whole thing through a lens. So the best comparison that I can make is this isn't to be like a Chad flex. It's just the story. The first time, I don't know why I had to stress that, but the first time I went to the Giza Plateau and I went to the pyramids.
Yeah.
I pulled my phone out like 3 times the whole day.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to like be in it. I remember at one point I was sitting on this massive block, and I just pulled out my phone and I just panned across Khufu's Great Pyramid just once, just to get a big shot of it. And this whole group that we were with, we come over to the corner and they're like, oh yeah, it's like the whole building is within like so many whatever of an inch and blah 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 blah. It's an engineering marvel. And then everybody walked off and I let them all go at least like 50 feet or so in front of me, and I just stopped and I just went, and I just put my hand on it and I just stood there, and then I was like, okay, I'm good, and then I just went about what I was doing. But
hell yeah, dude, it's about the experience.
I mean? Like, those are the things that never leave you.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's about the experience. You don't have to share it with people because it's for you in that moment.
Plus, filming cons is not easy.
No,
because one, YouTube doesn't like when you got other people's kids in your shit.
Yeah.
And two, cons generally have people dragging their kids around. Yeah. So you either have like your phone like this and you're filming some dude's ass in front of you for like 15 minutes, or it's like you're editing out kid, editing out a kid. It's crap. You know,
we were at I was at New York Comic Con a couple years ago with a gentleman who's gonna walk around and interview people. So I had a big
oh yeah,
camera, and we had we had his mic wired to the camera. And if I could tell you how many people you had to corral, because they don't give a fuck, they'll walk right in the shot. And like
no,
you said, they're just dragging kids. They
yeah,
don't
yeah,
they like it. So I would just get to a point where like right before we would like, he would go up to the person, "Can I interview you?" Then I would have to, and you have to make sure nobody. It was such a hassle that I would never do it again. Like even the phone, like you said, you're holding the phone like this, and I've done that multiple times where I'm just pretending like I'm just standing around, like, but I'm actually filming shit, and then
yeah.
I look down at the footage, and it's just the guy's fat ass for the last 20 minutes. I'm like, Jesus Christ, the fuck, what am I fucking filming here?
Yeah, you're like, what am I filming? Like a Levi's documentary?
Exactly. It's like, what the fuck is this? This is people walking.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, man.
And then it just like it kind of makes the whole thing sort of a bitch. It becomes a little frustrating. And you're like, you know what? I'm putting this away.
That's usually what I do. I'm just like, fuck this. I'm just gonna make it for me. Like I'm here because I want to be here. If I film something cool, but like I'm not gonna make that the whole reason I came. Like, because if you wanted to come to this thing, then you should have bought a ticket too. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just show you this shit. Like, I'm gonna show you some cool stuff, but like I totally understand what you're saying. But like, I'm sure you got it balanced. You know, you're gonna have your fun first, and then when you're ready to interview people or just look around and shoot with the camera, you'll set it up.
Yeah,
that's the way it goes, man.
One thing I do want to do, whoever I just feel like getting them to do it.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna get out my phone and hit record and just say Chad. Right? However you want to do it. Whatever inflection you want to put in it, like throw some stank on it, whatever. Just say my name. And then I'm going to make this massive intro collage of like everyone and their mother saying my name. Ron Rudat, fucking Kirk Bazigian, whoever, Ninja, Bobby.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All these people that I know, it's just gonna be like Chad. And I just like, just for giggles, I want to do it.
Yeah, fuck it.
But another thing that I always do, and this is Joe convention specific. I don't do it at like Albuquerque Comic Con or El Paso or Denver Comic Con, which I go to those.
Okay.
I always get the show poster.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because Joe Fest always does a show poster. I'm sure DFW is doing a show poster.
Yeah.
And a silver and a black Sharpie. And everyone that I know or anyone that comes up and says hi to me, I don't care if I've never met you before. If somebody comes up and says, "Oh, hey, like you're Chad or whatever," I'd be like, "Hey, sign my poster."
Sign the post. That's awesome.
And then I frame them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they're all in my game room.
Oh, that's fucking great, dude.
Yeah. So anybody and everybody, hey, would you please sign my poster?
Yeah, that's a great memento, man. Just like
hundreds and hundreds of signatures, like to the point where you can't even pick one out.
Yeah,
it's just like
that's awesome, dude. For real. Well, Chad, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, brother. Yeah, like I had an absolute blast, man. I'd like to have you back in the future. Like I'm right now, I'm just doing everybody first, just so I can get to know everybody. Everybody can get to know me. I know you noticed me in the chats on the live streams now and again because I'm a fan, and I wanted you to know that, and I wanted you on here immediately. I'm glad we got to talk about the 1/18 scale too, because I'm like I said, that's a scale to me that, like you said, people tend to disrespect lately. They tend to shit on it. They don't really give it the respect it. But like I said, I feel the same way about Masterverse. So whenever I bring up Masterverse to people, I get like this side eye. Like, that's not a cool line or whatever, but I think you're highly, especially when people collect Mythic Legions, it's like, that's all I'm going to say. It's like, okay, whatever you say, whatever. But
why do I need to buy that BMW when my Mustang will blow the doors off it?
That's all I'm saying. Like, you want to buy, I have a few Mythic Legions. I will always tell people that, and I saw the shit that Ninja's going through now because he said the truth, by the way.
Right.
He said
the 100 went against the consensus.
Yes. All right. So, because everything in his video, I was like, tell me the lie. Tell me the lie, because he did not lie at all. Just people.
It's quantifiable.
Yeah. And I noticed this, especially in this day and age, and whenever somebody hears the truth, man, does it hurt, and they do not like it, and they will attack you for just saying the truth. And
they want their comfort, no matter like what lie they gotta swallow.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck, and they will do mental gymnastics to trick you or to trick anybody else who will listen to believe that their shit is right and true.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't dig on that shit. I'm a man that always follows the truth. So,
and real quick before we go, I say it's the Lord's scale.
Yeah,
that's just a joke, obviously.
Obviously,
right? That's absurd. But we say the absurdity for a reason. Like the whole reason why I call action figures dollies. Like, like if you can't make fun of the fact that you like go nuts for little plastic people, whatever.
Hey, buddy, listen. I'm in the wrestling business, so I tell people all the time, man, can't take yourself too seriously, and especially in the wrestling business. It's like you are rolling around on the floor in colorful tights for the enjoyment of drunk people.
Yep.
So just don't take it too seriously, otherwise you'll never get out alive. It's just
same thing with soldiering.
Exactly.
Same thing with soldiering. Like, look, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, there are crazier things, but people can. Times change. I understand that. 1/6 scale is still a thing. The 12-inch figures, they're still around. It's not as prevalent as it used to be, but I understand that 1/12 is like the new hotness to some people. However, for world building, for all the stuff that comes along with the figures, there is no better scale than 1/18. That's what it was designed for. And it's battle tested.
It's still proving true. Because even that now, look at the HasLab vintage Star Wars vintage Cantina thing. Like it's still
look at the ghosts.
There's still a market for it, whether you like to admit it or not. And like I said, whatever line you stand on, whether it's 1/6, 1/12, 1/18, at the end of the day, we're all collecting toys. So let's all have fun and let's just compare notes. To me, it's not about my scale is better than your scale. To me, it's about what are you building on your scale to build your world? Because I want to learn. Maybe I can apply it to my world. That's, to me, what we should be doing. We shouldn't be tearing each other down because we have differences of opinion.
Yeah. Or even just talk about, how we both had experiences where our spouses got us something that we thought we'd never have. Like
exactly.
It's not even about the scale.
No.
It's not even about the IP. It's just about like,
it basically is like this, as different as we are, we're still very similar, so it doesn't, at the end of the day, that's what we should take solace in.
Yep.
So if I'm going to sit here and give you a Jerry Springer, take care of each other moment, that would be it.
Take care of yourself
and each other.
Right.
So
I've always said you can argue with faceless people on the internet, but I guarantee that if the two people who are arguing happen to be in a toy store at the same time, a physical toy store in, a physical space shared, they would find something, to converse about with commonality.
Absolutely.
There's going to be a conversation about, oh man, like I love freaking Rock Lords. Cool, man. I'm checking out this Star Wars thing over here. Right on.
Oh yeah, for real.
You're not going to be like, you're a fucking asshole.
Fuck Star Wars, you pussy. Right?
Oh, Rock Lords are stupid.
Yeah, fucking idiots, man. If you are like that, then you are a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, I got to say that. But like I said, buddy, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for talking to me. I'm going to catch you down the road for real. I don't know if you ever come this way for conventions, but if you ever do, I would love to cross paths with you and meet you in person, wherever.
I was born in Connecticut, and I still got a lot of family back east, so never say never.
Well, I will be at Terrificon, so just put it out there. But you guys can catch Chad on his channel at It's Chad. You can catch him. I didn't put over his Instagram at the beginning because, as I said before, with all the fuckery, he tends to have a new Instagram every few weeks. So, but this current
sticking,
this new one who's just sticking. It's .chad_YouTube.
Yep.
Is that okay? So that's where you can catch him on Instagram, and it's Chad on YouTube. And like I said, you'll find a great list of all his videos, and his live streams are very, very entertaining. And he's got some great people on there usually to join him to talk about stuff. And even today with Jay Bartlett, You guys talked about the 87 vehicles. That was a really good, informative. Like I said, for somebody who doesn't really know much about GI Joe, I tend to watch you and other GI Joe enthusiasts because you're teaching me about the line, about the lore, and about all that great stuff that I didn't know before. So thank you, and thank everybody who's watching. Just catch us. I'm live every Sunday with the pre-roll. Chad is live every Wednesday with Toy Talk. And that has been Chad. I am Tony. This has been Talking Figures. Until next time, guys, keep playing, man.